Hi, I'm Chris Paul. I work as a counsellor in the Swindon, Hungerford and Marlborough area, and I want to say a few words about depression. Depression, or feeling low, feeling the blues, is something that's quite natural. Problem comes when we get stuck in it long term, or when it becomes so overwhelming that we just have to get away from it, even to the extent of self-harm or suicide, alcoholism, drugs, whatever the escape might be. It's quite as I say, quite a natural reaction when something bad happens or you're having a difficult time. You first get sad, and if that continues, you will get depressed. Sometimes we get stuck in that by resisting it, the idea that I should be getting on with things. Phrases like buck yourself up, just get on with it, don't really look after yourself. It's those sorts of things are quite harsh, quite critical. For example, if you are grieving the death of a loved one, people will often give you so much time, and then they get fed up, they drift away, they say, right, it's time to get on with it. And we don't get enough time to grieve. We might have to sort of have a couple of weeks and then start to pick our lives up, get on with it, and that may leave a lot of the sadness unrecognised and undischarged, because that grief may last for years. And the person who's got to look after you is you. So if you buy into okay, had a few weeks, that should be enough now, I should be getting on with it, now I feel sad occasionally, sometimes that will perpetuate things, stuff will stay inside you undischarged. And there may be times when you don't really know why you're depressed, why you're feeling blue and down, why it's so hard to get up in the mornings, why you've got no energy or enthusiasm for anything. When those sorts of things happen, you often have to look quite carefully at what the depression is trying to tell you about your life. And some of that may be obvious. There are things which we can't have any control over, which happen to us, or which may have happened to us in the past, which leave us feeling very blue, very down. The temptation in these circumstances is to manage that with pills. Prescribed pills is a very common way of managing depression. So is self-medication. I mentioned alcohol and other substances already, but you can also manage it by staying frenetically active, going to the gym every day, running every day, working every day, cutting yourself off from how you feel. And the real trick, if it is one, with depression is that if you want to go through it, that means you have to feel it, and you have to allow that sadness out. And you can do a certain amount of that yourself, depending upon how deep the depression is, how well seated it is within you, or you may need some help with it. If you do decide that you want to work on this yourself, then that will often require you to actually do some personal development, maybe even some spiritual work with yourself, and to look at your life quite carefully, and to actually be alert to how you feel, what makes you feel that way, what makes you feel better, and whether the thing that makes you feel better is an escape from feeling or something that helps you just manage it. So again, be alert that you don't cut yourself off from feeling. But by the same token, you need to have some way of managing it, which may be something like a walk in the country every now and again, for example. But something that manages it so it's not totally overwhelming for you. And talking to people, be they friends, family, or professionals, that will often help. So if you want to know more, you can look at my website and contact me that way. Website is www.creativedifference.org.uk,